So how did you get started? Tell me about that process.
We thought, what the heck? Nobody's doing this yet? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And went to the grocery store, came up with some different ingredients, tried to mix and match. We tested them on what we call our brave recruits. There were some friends.
Oh, brave recruits.
Just in our kitchen.
In your kitchen, yeah. Humble beginnings.
AdventFit is a podcast that has a holistic approach to physical, spiritual, and mental well-being. In each episode, we share productive ways to live a healthier and happier lifestyle. Unlike other podcasts in this space, AdventFit gives you a comprehensive approach to fitness without the fluff for the everyday Christian. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of AdventFit.
Welcome.
This is a special episode because for the very first time, and for this time right now, we are having Munchy Crunchy, the vegetarian traveler.
Vegan, right? The vegetarian traveler.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right. They are here with us, and they're right here on the screen. So, hey, Chuck. Hey, Christy. How are you guys? Good to see you guys. I'm so glad you guys are here and everything. Well, let me give a little backstory of how I met Chuck and Chris. Well, I met Chuck. In this story here. I was in. We were doing a program with the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. They were doing their global camp meeting.
GC.
Yep, and I was one of the vendors there. And when I came on to check it out, I was going through the different booths. I was one of the vendors. And I was going to different booths. I was promoting my product. And as I was going through the different booths, I came across one that said the Vegetarian Traveler, I believe.
Yes.
And I was like, the Vegetarian Traveler, that sounds epic. I'm vegetarian. Sometimes I travel. And I was like, what is this?
Yes.
So I clicked into it and I saw that it had all these pictures about health and fitness. And I said, whoa, me and Jeffrey are doing a podcast about fitness and health. And this might go well. So I clicked the call button to see if I could talk to whoever was behind this virtual booth. And lo and behold, this guy came, Chuck, the awesome Chuck, the infamous Chuck. Yeah, Chuck.
You have no idea.
And so you started to tell me about your story. And the first question I want to start off with the name, the Vegetarian Traveler. What inspired you guys to come up with the name, the Vegetarian Traveler?
Well, we were always kind of looking for some plant-based food, and oftentimes we travel just to visit family or restaurants or wherever, and it was just always tough to find food to eat. So, hey, as you know, we came up with our product, our snack and meal topper, and it is vegan, as CJ mentioned. But we decided to encompass a larger group.
Yes.
By calling it vegetarian. So we would not only get vegetarians, but vegans, everyone, all those in between. Yeah. So we thought, well, that's, I think that's a good name to start with.
That is good. Yeah.
We had that idea actually back in the early 2000s, maybe late 1990s.
Oh, wow.
That we had that in mind, but we were busy doing other stuff, right? We had our lives, we're working, we have our careers, we're involved. We thought, boy, somebody's going to come out with that because we're so sick of going and saying, well, what do you have? It's like, well, we could have a salad. You want fries with that? Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah.
It's so hard to be vegetarian. Now it's a little easier, but back then it was so hard to be vegetarian.
And now it depends on where you go. It's easier or it could be hard. Depends on where you're going.
Well, I went to one state. I went to North Carolina. I went to Subway because Subway has, they have some vegetarian options. So I said, hey, can I get the vegetarian sandwich? Can I get the veggie patty? And they looked at me and was like, what is that? I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, oh, that's too bougie for us.
By your house, the same thing too. I asked for something vegan. They told me they have lettuce and tomatoes. I said, no meal's vegan, so they don't really know about that. Some places.
So you guys are really hitting a need for what's happening around us, which is supplying a snack for vegetarians. That's awesome.
So that's exactly right, you guys. So as Christy said, we came out with this Vegetarian Traveler. We were very deliberative, and that's just how we are in our lives and our business and stuff. We're real successful, but very particular and deliberative about this stuff. And what, you can always get carbs and fats, right? You can go anywhere and get carbs and fats any day of the week,
Yes.
suitable for everybody or not good for you or whatever, but you can get them. It's the protein that's the key.
Yeah, we
of
need
the
yeah,
three
we need that.
macros, And so and so we thought, well, adding to the meals, all these meals, if it's a salad with lettuce and cucumbers, we can add protein toppers. That was our first line. We called them protein toppers. And we'd add that to any meal, yogurt or cottage cheese if you eat that, or cereal. It's wonderful on all those foods, and it adds a whopping amount of protein. Well, and crunch. And so it works with any food that you're going to eat. And so, and then we eventually evolved that into a version that's all the meal topping stuff for the meal protein, but also is the snack. And portable single serve packets, portion controlled, works for anybody, anywhere, anytime. And we were so sick of not having protein at any time we wanted, like everybody else does. And so it's like, you know what? The heck with it. We'll make our own. And so nobody had done it by the time we were ready. And so we said, you know what? Vegetarian Traveler it is.
Awesome. I like the name Munchy Crunchy. What inspired that name?
Munchy Crunchy protein. Well, it kind of describes the product a little bit.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it
is munching.
And you want to munch it, and it's got a lot of protein.
Yes.
And we kind of did a survey out there and got some folks to kind of call in or write in or email in and say, hey, here's some options. What do you guys like? And this one actually went out, so we went with it. So,
and it's really all three: the munchy for the snack, the crunchy, because that's really what it is, and the protein, that's really what it is.
I like that. Yeah, we got a chance to try it out, and we actually did like a little review video. And for those of you who are coming into our podcast, go to our Facebook. We're going to release it on the same day that this is being released on Facebook. So join our Facebook group to make sure that you can see our the very first time that we are trying it. And we talk about the different flavors and how it reacts to us. We say which one. I talk about which ones are my favorite and stuff like that. And so I know there was like the ranch flavor, right? And there was the caramel flavor, and then there was another flavor. It's slipping my mind. I think there was a spicy flavor or something like that.
Sriracha.
Aha, Chipotle.
I just went there.
There you go.
Mildly spicy.
Yeah,
there you go. Not the spicy flavor, the Chipotle flavor. Yes. Nice.
Yeah.
But now you have now it's a collection of things in there. I know there was like edamame, I think it was called.
Edamame. And we do have other non-GMO soybeans in there as well. With our salted caramel, we have some monk fruit, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt. That's the only one that has a little sugar added. And some caramel flavoring and
natural seasonings. The seasonings are completely natural. And with the beans that are in there, they're roasted, or sometimes called toasted, but they have that delightful kind of a hearty crunch that people love crunch. We've only run into it literally out of thousands of people that we've surveyed over the years. There's like 2 or 3 people that literally didn't like crunch. It's like, wow, really? But whatever. And so crunch is big for people and also helps satisfy appetites. But with the 3 different sizes of the beans that we have in there and the colors, they actually aren't all the same. They taste different. The edamame, of course, people are familiar with, and they just, that's a common thing. But as you guys probably know, and I'm sure you've talked about, soybeans been around forever, and they're a staple for protein for plant-based, and because they're a complete protein, it's one of the reasons that we chose that as the primary legume ingredients.
Awesome. So how did you get started? Tell me about that process.
So we mentioned, way back, we kind of came up with the idea, and we just thought, nutrition's been important to us all our lives, for our family, for ourselves, for decades. Of course, we never thought we'd be doing this in our 60s, but we are. I'd taken a few nutrition courses in college, so I kind of had an interest in that, and went to the grocery store, came up with some different ingredients, tried to mix and match. We tested them on what we call our brave recruits. There were some friends
brave recruits
who were okay with trying it. We got all their feedback. Of course, we did secure some help from a professional food lab to finalize our product. So we get the right nutrition and so forth. So that is kind of how we got our start, just in our kitchen.
In your kitchen, yeah. Humble beginnings.
We thought for sure somebody was going to come out with this in all those years in the 2000s. This is too obvious. Food's developing, plant-based is growing. There's going to be somebody come out with this. And then lo and behold, by 2013, 14, and 15, when we started really having more time for it as we were leaving other careers, we thought, what the heck? Nobody's doing this yet? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we started investigating, and it took years of our deliberative investigations of how this works, how it would work, how would you make this, what would it be, all that stuff.
And as I was saying, through that, we discovered too that we weren't the only ones, which we kind of knew, that were looking for plant-based or other options. So, we used to take stuff to the restaurant and we'd heat it up and then bring our own stuff and then put it on food, that we could eat. Now we have something that you can't take to a restaurant if you want. And instead of those croutons on your salad, ranch.
There's no protein.
I can totally relate with that because I remember some years ago, I went to a wedding and I was on my raw diet.
Yes.
And so I was like, I don't know if they're going to have any food there. So I brought in a little Ziploc bag, a bag of nuts as my salad topper.
Yeah.
And I came there. It was kind of embarrassing. I was with my date and everything. It was just, and it was a mess. It was, so
now you can be in style with the Munchy Crunchy.
That's right. In style with Munchy Crunchy. I kept it in my car and everything, and so it was very convenient. It was very convenient just to take out. It didn't look awkward. It was nice and convenient, and it has a good amount of protein in it as well, for sure.
Yeah.
Way more than almost any other plant-based product you're going to find. For a little 1.3 ounce serving, which is about a third of a cup, it's 16 grams.
16 grams. Wow, that's a lot of. That's awesome.
And 7 grams of fiber.
That's amazing. That's definitely needed. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so that combination, along with the crunch and the flavor, is what contributes a lot to the satiety. So it's not just empty calories, man. I mean, it is a substantial snack, but it's also a substantial meal protein. So when you add 16 grams to your meal, and let's just say you got a slice of bread or a couple of buns or something like that, you get maybe get another 5 grams of protein out of that, depending on what they're made of. And there might be some other protein elements. I mean, some certain other plants have protein. I mean, you're over 20 grams of protein at a meal when they weren't even serving you protein.
Yeah.
As people, it really has made a difference. Adding protein in our lives.
Yes.
I started working out with a trainer. I never worked out with a trainer. I was really never a weightlifter. I was in good shape, decent shape and stuff, and was able to help people move and, good endurance and all that stuff. But it wasn't until about 12, 13 years ago, I started working with a trainer. And it wasn't for the first 5 years, I didn't really do much with my protein. And they kept on saying, well, you really ought to increase your protein. I said, no, I think I'm good.
Yeah, it's hard to find it too.
And they finally convinced me to say, okay, I'm going to increase my protein. So I did. And holy mackerel, it really made my workouts more effective. I was doing them and I had better results. And it's like, these guys must know something. Who knew, right? Professional trainers.
And of course, when you feel better physically too, you feel better emotionally. Just everything. So it
improves your life incredibly. Do you know this woman here? She's been working out for now just a few years with a personal trainer. She
a personal trainer? Awesome.
Yeah. Over 200 pounds she deadlifts now.
Oh, okay. That's my favorite exercise. I love deadlifting.
205, actually. Yeah.
205.
Okay. That's awesome.
If you're counting. And at 67 years old, I'm deadlifting over 300 pounds, which I know isn't any record breaking, and that's not what we're not trying to break records.
No, that's awesome though. 300 pounds.
Competition isn't the thing, but our health. And so when we're going up and down stairs all day carrying heavy boxes, we just have energy galore. And at 67, I've literally never been stronger or healthier in my life. Now,
Wow.
I was in the airborne infantry in the early and mid 70s. And while I was, 19, 20, 21, right, you're skinny and strong and whatever. I've never had this much muscle mass or been able to have this kind of endurance. And protein, without the protein increase that we've done in our lives, and I try to get between 75 and 100 grams a day. And Christy, likewise, at least 75 grams.
Yeah.
It's really made a difference. I know you guys already know this.
Yeah.
But I'm pitching that because as senior citizens, we're supposed to be losing muscle mass. We're going in the direction.
That's awesome.
So going back to the beginning, do you remember the first, like how you sold the first Munchy Crunchy packets?
So, okay, this is a little weird because we had the protein toppers and we had commercialized those, and they're similar, not the same, but similar, a roasted mixture of things and high protein, 15, 16, 17 grams of protein. But then at the end of 2019, we realized that we needed to pivot to something that was going to be the meal protein still, but also had the snack component. And so at the end of 2019 and the very beginning of 2020, we pivoted and invested in a new product line called Munchy Crunchy Protein. And so we had this ready to go. We had the social media, the website change, the literature, all the stuff that you need to professionally launch a product. And Expo West, which is a large natural products food show, and other products too, but food, East and West, Natural Products West was coming out on beginning of March of 2020. We had our tickets, we had our booth, we had just checked in for our flight, and an hour later, the show was canceled. Pandemic.
Yes.
And boy, did that ever... we could not have picked a worse time for a new product launch. I got to tell you, and whatever it is, how it is, right? You just kind of, that's what happens, and you roll with it. And so for the next several months, we tried to understand how we can hook up with people to buy Munchy Crunchy protein, other than just on a website, because we didn't have any press.
You had to
going yet. So it's like, it's like if there's a website, nobody knows where it is. It's kind of like if a tree falls in the forest, nobody's around. Does it make a noise, And so it took us months to and of course it was months for the industry, for people to go. We had a really thriving business in the university, college, and school and office-based food service business. Villanova, for example, or Blue Cross in South Carolina, they would buy like 32 or 64 pounds of bulk at a time to put on their salad bars. And so that literally ended in almost overnight. That service completely stopped because everybody shut down. And so how did we make our first sales? After that, we just started slugging away, having virtual meetings and getting into stores. Getting into companies like online, like Snack Magic, which is based in New York. So they were one of the early online adopters. And, even though they have grown exponentially in the last 2 years, when they've officially launched for about 2 years ago, 2 years and a couple months, we are still their fifth top brand.
Oh, wow.
For this past year, fifth top brand. In the crunchy snacks department. I mean, they have beverages and stuff too, and cookies and stuff like that. We don't compete against cookies, but and so, but I mean, I like cookies. Don't get me wrong. And
and they're crunchy. So
I like cookies.
Some cookies are crunchy though. Some cookies are crunchy.
Cookies don't like
maybe
me,
not
but
much.
I like cookies. But and then of course we've grown online. So like for example, Weight Watchers are now called www.com. They are heavily curated. You guys, I'm sure, have heard of WW before.
Yes.
Sure.
They are the generally considered to be the top weight management and eating program, for decades. And they are heavily curated. They actually have selected us, and we are on their site now. One of the few other non-Weight Watcher brand products, and we're killing it on that. We're about to go into GNC.com.
Wow.
Nice.
As well, which is the nutrition supplement company number one in the country.
Which GNC needs more like vegetarian and vegan products for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You betcha.
Yes.
This is so awesome and inspiring because like I know a number of our followers, they are into health and they want to be entrepreneurial with it, but they're looking at the world with COVID, but you guys found a way to navigate through that.
Yes.
And it's so, guys, it's possible to do that.
I just want to mention that this is such a great snack and meal protein for everybody.
Yes.
But because of the extremely special stats of low carbs, because of the protein and the fiber things, we have the support of over 1,500 registered dietitians, nutritionists, and health educators.
Nice.
Because it is so appropriate for as you guys know, there's an epidemic of diabetes and obesity and cardiac issues. Those are the big ones in this country and in the world. And I'll say that this stuff is specifically great for keeping your blood sugar stable, for people who have diabetic issues, for people who have weight management or obesity issues, for cardiac health. There are very few, if any, foods that have 16 grams of protein that are so easy to eat anywhere, anytime. It really can be transformative depending on your situation.
And of course, it's great for people who are conscious eaters or just want to take a step towards plant-based. This is an opportunity to try these out and keep your muscle strong.
Definitely, yes, with the
strong
protein.
muscle, and it's important for a lot of reasons.
It is.
Yeah.
I love it. You guys have gotten me hungry here. If you want a good healthy snack, Munchy Crunchy is the way to go. So I'm gonna let you guys know, those of you who are either on our podcast or you're watching on YouTube, it's munchycrunchyprotein.com. We're gonna put a link in the description there so you can find it in the show notes. And in fact, we're gonna actually let you guys know of a little secret. There's a promo code out there where you can get 30% discount. That's high. That 30%
That's a lot,
discount.
yes.
If you had 30% extra fat, then that would be horrible.
That's not good.
You know 30% is a lot.
But you can lose that fat with Munchy Crunchy.
You can lose.
Yeah.
There you go.
So 30% discount. And here's the promo code, guys. Here's the promo code. So get on it quick because at some point it might change. It's vegan body. Vegan body. That's it. That you just go on the website, munchycrunchyprotein.com. And then when you make your order, when they have the option for the promo code, you just type in vegan body. That's one word, right? Vegan body, one word, and you'll get your 30% discount. Guys, show some love, support this vegetarian and vegan and just health lifestyle. Like I said, even if you're not vegetarian or vegan, but you just want a healthier lifestyle.
And it's convenient.
And you just want to support a convenient lifestyle, go for it, guys. Yes. So, guys, you know what we are about. We're AdventFit. Go to AdventFit.org if you want to catch any other episodes. You can find, like I said, the links that we just mentioned here, and as well as that promo code if you don't know how to spell vegan. So you can go and find it there. And so you could even find our social media accounts. So you can find mine at WayneJamel.com.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Woke. That's WHOKE.
And until next time, this is Chuck, Christy, and I'm Wayne.
And I'm CJ for White, and this is for Crunchy. Munchy Crunchy, that is. And we'll see you next week, folks.
If you enjoyed this episode, why don't you click the like button?
And the notification bell.
Ding!
And if you really liked it, please share this episode with someone close to you.
But before you do that, subscribe to AdventFit.
Exactly.